We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
I did. Oh, whoa! Right on the tip. Just on the tip.
And Blab. Co-hosted by our friends from around the internet.
There is a portion of Norway where it is legally required to carry a firearm at all times.
If you're just a normal man looking for common sense in this crazy-ass world, you've come to the right place. And now, broadcasting from our homes from around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers. Oh, welcome out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com. And most importantly, friends, today especially, SidescrollersPlus.com. Hello, happy Friday. It is Finish Strong Friday, and here we are, hanging out on this wonderful Friday morning, afternoon, lunchtime, breakfast, all of you hanging out on the West Coast. Good to see you guys. Welcome on out. We got a big show for you guys. Joined today by the Italian food snob herself, Labs.
You know, that's fine. I like gatekeeping. It's fine.
See,
get off my lawn. Get out of my stuff. Yeah, gatekeeping.
Here it is.
I'm bringing it back.
This
2025,
is
the year of the gatekeep.
That's where it is. See, some people say snob. You guys it as gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Yes, that's good. Oh, it's gatekeeping.
No, it actually is gatekeeping. Stay off my lawn.
What I did mention that I will be posting the lasagna soup recipe. I took pictures
have
of
you?
it. I have not posted it yet, but I will. I got
The
lots.
Plus members eagerly await your recipe.
Everybody does. Everybody
Right.
eagerly awaits the recipe that we printed off online that we now keep in a physical cookbook.
Made it your own. It's a family tradition now.
It's great. It's excellent. Blabs, I'm glad you're with us today, as always.
Thanks. It's Friday though. I'm like, yes.
Oh.
I get to clean this weekend.
A tough week, huh?
Well, no, it's nice, right? You like the weekends are great, man. Come on, don't even mess with me. It's nice to just go away and hide.
Yeah, I got a busy weekend ahead. Busy weekend. I headed down to downtown
Lots
Dallas.
of cleaning. Yeah, lots of family stuff happening this weekend. So,
Well, let's see if Numero Trace has a busy weekend. Joining us today, number 3 member of Side Scrollers, Phoenix.
Hi.
Hello, Phoenix.
How do you do? Wait, Blebs, why are you so excite.com to be cleaning on
You
on
don't
a
like
weekend?
to clean? Don't you see a mess and you
No.
go, ugh, and then you're like, I get to clean that up and make it look pretty again.
Nobody
You're getting really excited about that. Wow,
Well, I'm
okay.
like looking at my keyboard too, and I'm like, this thing needs to be vacuumed, and I'm like, can't wait to do that. Make it look
I
nice
told you
again.
I have a huge leak in my house, so if you feel free to come on
not a
over if you want to
plumber,
clean
though.
that up. All right, sorry, shit. All right.
The
Good
only
point.
time I've ever worked with water was like irrigation systems out in the fields, and that was, interesting, but it was a lot of water, so you get wet.
I
out
would
in the middle of
love.
the fields, and like if it's a rainy day, it's just not fun.
I would love if I don't know. I'm just throwing out an idea, right? If somebody wanted to use Grok on X or maybe ChatGPT to maybe take a photo of Blabs and launch a new cleaning service that she has.
Blabscleanings.com.
Blabs cleaning service with all of her Hispanic coworkers.
I mean, that was years ago, but it was field work, not housework.
Field work. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Weird. Okay.
Well, I know what
all
I'm
the
making this
changes.
weekend.
This week, well, listen, I have like this really nice like computer vacuum parts, right? Like with the small little brush and everything, and I used it on my keyboard. I vacuumed my fan on my PC the other day. I opened up my tower app. I've been
You
cleaned
really
up.
love this. You're getting very excited about this.
Yeah, and like, listen, I even have a little. This
Here
is
we
actually
go.
a makeup brush. This is a
Okay.
makeup brush, but I don't know how to use it for makeup. What I do is I dust like really delicate Harry Potter stuff with it.
So that's when you were at the beauty place, you're like, okay, that's great, but how would that clean Harry Potter materials?
Yeah, I don't know if you can see that coming off. There's a lot of dust coming off this. That's nasty.
Yes. But how would this clean Harry Potter stuff? That's really what it comes down to. How does this affect Harry Potter? That's
Yes.
and everything. Well, I could eat
I mean,
this.
stuff is so
but
expensive and valuable that I'm like, I ain't touching that with a vacuum cleaner. It's gonna scratch like my books and stuff.
this brings up a really good just thought process. I've been thinking about this the last few days, and I realize we have a lot of stuff going on here behind the scenes. We're working on doing these premium events, which we kind of briefly talked about. We are working on some Blabs Versus stuff, and we have Nerd Duel, which premiered yesterday, which has been great. If you guys haven't seen Nerd Duel, make sure you see it. But I've said this for a long time. I do want to get into game development here at Side Scrollers. That is something that is on the list down the line. But look, if we have anybody that works in game development in our community, I have all these ideas for like fast little meme games, right? Like fun little meme games that could be developed in like 1 or 2 days, like tops, like 1 to 2 person dev teams will make a ridiculous like revenue split for you guys. If anybody in our space is like a super talented indie dev and you want to take some of my crazy ass ideas, like I'll flush them out. We can create them really quick, make these fun little meme games that can be made really, really fast, and like Blabs clean, like a Blabs cleaning service game, right? We have like Blabs running around cleaning all sorts of shit, right? Like really easy games to make. Or like yesterday we had Blabs was loving like balls, so we have like a game about
That
Blabs.
was 2 days ago,
Oh, okay.
actually.
Well, I'm just saying.
Well, it's like that game, that little indie game with like the dog where it gets everything muddy and you have to get the entire house just covered in mud. I would be the opposite. I'd be the one cleaning up all the mud in the game.
It's the second half of the game.
Yeah, it's a part 2. It's a sequel.
Well, if there is anybody who is like a talented indie dev, I'm talking like 1 or 2 person teams. Right? I'm not talking like super heavy lifting here. Really quick turnarounds on these games. I would love to get them up on Steam. Maybe make them a browser games. I don't know. We'll figure it out, right? The point is I want to find somebody who's like ready and motivated and creative and is ready to go, right? So hit me up with some of your work that you've done, and we'll just kind of go from there. Just hit me up over on whether it's on Plus or whether it's on X. I want to build. I want to take some of these crazy ass ideas. I want to turn them into video games, and we'll figure it out. Like Blabs cleaning service.
It needs to be made.
Yeah, well, Phoenix will be like my helper, but he'll have to be the one wearing the French maid dress.
With pleasure.
Yes.
With pleasure.
And it'll be so scandalous your ankles will show.
Noobnut is right. We do need to host a game jam. 1,000%. I would love to do that. As a matter of fact,
idea.
Yeah, that'd be very, very good. And I was approached about sponsoring a game jam a while back, but that's something that we should definitely do this year. So we'll definitely figure that out, right? See a Nerd Duel board game. Okay, maybe we can turn Nerd Duel into a game so people can check it out. We'll figure that out later on. Yeah. But speaking of Plus, yesterday I was supposed to play and I was supposed to stream the hit game everybody cares about that is just roaring up the charts, Sex with Hitler.
The best kind of sex.
Yeah. I did not do it because I don't feel like we did a good enough job of promoting that it was going to happen yesterday. But today, immediately after Side Scrollers, exclusively over on Side Scrollers Plus, I will be streaming. I'm like an hour tops. I don't know if I can even make it an hour, but I will be streaming.
You think you have that kind of stamina, Craig?
No, I don't.
You're kind of
2 minutes
flaunting it a little.
2 minutes. Sex with Hitler today, exclusively over on Plus. There's your thumbnail. So join me over there. And just to kind of add a cherry on top, once again, today is the last day that you can use promo code April to get $30 off your annual membership over at Side Scrollers Plus. So join me immediately after Side Scrollers is done. I'll set up a new live stream and I'll be streaming once again Sex with Hitler immediately after. So join me over there. Use the promo code. By the way, we are four supporters shy of 400 over on Plus. So join us over there. And let's hit 400 today. We've been kind of going back and forth. We've been fluctuating. We almost got there, then we drop back down. We almost got there, we drop back. So let's
Just do it.
Just bulldoze over it today. We need 4 of you.
Yeah.
To hop on over there. Use promo code April to get that $30 off. Last day to use it right there. All right. We have a large show for you guys, and we're glad you're here. We are going to be getting into we have a lot of quick hits today. Lots of quick hits. And we're going to be rapid firing through. So at any point, if you're like, hey, I got to go. No, you don't. Stick around a little bit longer because we got a lot going on. So just don't go anywhere. This Sunday over on Plus Blabs, we have something going up, which I'm very excited about.
I'm not. There is some Moxley bump reaction. Listen, there's nails involved in wrestling. Things I don't know anything about, but Craig gave me PTSD. Let's just put it that way. I give him PTSD on a daily basis, and I guess he decided to return the favor and make me watch some horrible wrestling clip. So...
Hold on. I'm sorry, Blabs. Did you say PDST?
PT.
Okay, I was like, what the fuck? Okay. Yes, Phoenix. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, so this is the payoff to the teaser in the previous wrestling video you guys did, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I've been waiting to see this. Yeah.
This spot is one of the most crazy ass spots anybody has ever seen in wrestling. This was brutal. And so anyways, the John Moxley spot where he's suplexed onto a bat with nails sticking out of it. You definitely want to tune in. That's coming on Sunday exclusively over on Plus. All right. With that said, we always like to start the show with Today in Gaming History. So, Blabs, what do we have today?
So before I start that, I just want to say that every time you say use promo code April, I think of the hot chick with Rob Schneider going, April! Anyways. I don't know why, it just keeps coming to my head, and then I type out the word chat. I'm like, April! Okay. It's me! Anyway. Okay, April 10th, everybody! That's the wrong date, because it's the 11th. Ta-da! Okay, Tomb Raider Legend was released in 2006. We have Dark Souls 3, released in 2016. And then Skyforge, released today in 2017. Yay!
You know, it's kind of sad because I only have Tomb Raider Legends on like a download, so I had to take a picture of that.
He's got mobile.
But don't worry, because I also have the collection on PlayStation 3. I also have it on the Xbox. You're like, Phoenix, you couldn't have more of those. I could.
How many do you
also
have
it. Let's keep going. I also have it on GameCube, as well as the PlayStation 2 Special Edition, and finally the regular edition. So I figured we'd get that covered for today. For our wonderful crowd here today.
You know what? I feel happy that you contributed. Thank you. It's usually just Vara who contributes.
I feel like our subs went up. Everything is great. You're welcome,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Don't ask me why I have so many copies of.
Yeah, and they're not even like different ports, are they? Because by then they were all the same game, right?
That's kind of where I was going with that. I was like, why do you have 14 copies of Tomb Raider?
Let's not talk about that. Everything's fine.
He sleeps next to them at night.
I may or may not do that.
Blankets, just constantly every night. He's like,
Lara Croft.
All right, Blabs, I got to be honest. I was trying to find that clip of April over on...
It's when he falls down the bleachers.
Yeah, this right here. Yes. I got it right here. So he's, I'm trying to find this right here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's talking like when it was during the Bleacher Talk.
April!
I don't want to get flagged. Anyways,
April!
Use promo code April. Last day for you over on sidescrollersplus.com. All right, I did not look at what games you put on the list today, so sorry, I was too busy paying attention to that.
Too busy looking for April.
Yeah. So some noticeable games that you did or did not put on the list today include Postal 2 for the PC 22 years ago. Very controversial game for its time. As you mentioned, Tomb Raider Legend, which I'm assuming you mentioned because Phoenix busted out his 47 copies.
Yeah, I reminded you. I have several copies of the game if you want to see those again.
No, thank you. Dark Souls 3 for the PC over here 9 years ago. Did you mention that one, Blabs?
I did, funny enough.
Okay, good. Good, thank you. And last year we had Wrecking Crew 98 released for the first time for the Super Nintendo on Nintendo Switch Online. That's actually kind of cool because that was a like a Nintendo game over in Japan. So that's pretty neat. So
I've never heard of that one. Have you played that?
I have it on Nintendo Switch Online. Oddly enough, never turned it on.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. All right, we're off to a rip-roaring start today as Joey has come in with a $50 super chat. Joey, look at this. There you go. Look at that, Joey.
Find it.
It says they keep trying to push Yasuke. He wasn't a great samurai. Nobunaga simply gave him the title of samurai and some training, but he was very mediocre. His only notable battle was when Nobunaga was betrayed at Honaji Castle.
You nailed it. Perfect.
That's right. And committed harikari. Right? Thank you, Joey. Appreciate that. Yeah, we're going to get to that story in a little bit. And he followed up and says, was then literally kicked out of Japan and no other records exist of him. Joey, how do you really feel about it? Let's go. Thank you very much, Joey. Appreciate that greatly. Yeah, so Yasuke is getting a movie, which is awesome. Right off the bat, we have Wolf and Wings says they really love milking. Yasuke, okay, don't make it weird. Wolf and Wings, thank you very much for your membership for 10 months. So speaking of lasagna soup, Jared says, I didn't know that was even a thing until last week when my youngest sister decided to make it for dinner, and it turned out good. You won't know unless you try it, Blabs. Jared says, I may make a suggestion. Next time either of you get proven right, y'all should use the clip of Randy Travis singing I Told You So. Also, may I have a late birthday shout out from Dan Basque himself. You know, I don't know if Dan's in the background. Dan, you know, here's the thing. We talked about we're going to have this retro game podcast. Can somebody please tag Dan and tell him to get him the fuck back to me? Because I keep, I have WhatsApped him. I have DM'd him. I have pinged him publicly. And
You're getting ghosted.
Yeah, I have been fucking ghosted by Dan Bass. And we're supposed to do a retro game podcast every month for you guys. Damn it. To answer your question, is Dan Bask here? This is the only place he is here right now. Dan Bask is singing on the internet. Congratulations, Jared. Happy birthday to you.
Happy, much happy birthday for you.
Also says, as much so I'd like to buy a Switch 2 since I don't have an original. I'll have to wait until the price goes down. Either that or get a Steam Deck. Let's go. Thank you, Jared. And once again, happy birthday. Give it up for Elite Patriot, who is a brand new Plus member. Love that. Thank you so much, Elite Patriot. Honey Badger says, please don't talk about She Who Must Not Be Named. I'm not talking about that trash. Tamamo says, please never be on time because I fear if ever you are, the simulation won't be able to handle it. And the world as you know it will crash and cease to exist. Still love you guys, though. So we're kind of late on purpose on a day-to-day basis. It allows kind of the audience to grow a little bit more, exponentially faster. So, like, if it says 11, we're going to start at like 11:04. That's like a little inside baseball secret for you YouTubers out there.
We used to be like right on time because Craig and myself don't actually like being late.
Hate it.
Then we're actually like, wait a minute.
Yes. Yeah. Turgo says, where is Craig suffering from? Coming today, exclusively over on Side Scrollers Plus. Promo code April. Right, Blabs?
April!
That's right. There we go.
April!
I don't know why it's so funny.
Blabs, download that as an MP3 and add that right now. Today. It has to be today right now because otherwise it won't make any sense.
Give me the link.
I'll put it in the chat. Here we go. Starts at 27 seconds. Okay. And if you can get that up, uploaded.
Just as an MP3 audio?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Hey, give it up for Zadum, who is a brand new member over on your YouTube. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. That is awesome. Why did you only stream the game on GayTube yesterday, Craig? I wanted to cheer my future ex-wife Vera live. You mean Nerd Duel? Well, because it's hard to upload that stuff to Rumble. And actually, we've tried to upload things to Rumble, and it's been really, really hard. Although, Blast Versus will be over on Rumble tonight. So that's cool. At least the first episode. B. Barrett says, Yasuke was left, was black and shit. Thank you very much. Luigi says, I couldn't watch Blab's rant on lasagna soup until now, and it was hilarious. Definitely should invite Metatron to the podcast. It'll be fun to watch those two lose their shit over how pasta is done in the U.S. Look, I may only be 1.3337% Italian, but I agree, gatekeeping the food thing. Mary says, I feel you, Blabs. I do enjoy cleaning my PC and console collection. It's oddly therapeutic.
It is. It's just like you see all this dust on a fan, like right in front of your tower, and you're like, and like it just goes away, and then the rest of the dust is remaining. You're like, it's like mowing the lawn, you know?
So do you intentionally like get it, like you just let it accumulate that way you can have a great weekend?
I despise that. It's just, life happens and then it's like 6 months later and you're like, oh shit, I haven't vacuumed
Good
my
Lord,
cat
6
computer in,
months
like, 6
later.
months. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought you loved cleaning. 6 months.
Oh, no,
Yikes,
I don't
okay.
open up my PCs every
Oh,
weekend.
okay,
Like that's a
okay.
pain in the ass because like it's underneath my desk, so I have to crawl, I have to unplug everything behind my desk. Like it's a workout to do that. So I'm like, no, get fucked. I'll only do it when I can remember. But when you do, it's like it's therapeutic, you know?
You see how everybody is just speaking your language in the chat with the hands? Like it's like they're speaking directly to you, Blabs.
Grazie tanto.
We love the cleaning. And we like to clean the PC. Right? Yeah.
Non è uno scetello.
Marius says Phoenix rated all the tombs. Don't make it weird, Marius. Thank you very much.
But I did.
Kratos says, and even better, Yasuke movie is Kubi. There's a very funny picture of that character on IMDb. Thank you, Kratos. Give it up for Swiss Play It, who became a brand new Plus member. Love to see that. 3 away from 400. Shane O'Mac says, Blabs, why is Parmesan cheese called Parmesan cheese instead of spaghetti confetti? Such a missed opportunity.
Well, I'll have you know, the Parmesan cheese isn't even Parmigiano Reggiano. So, you're wrong all the way.
Weird. Taker says, the monkeys finally got Dan and have tied him up somewhere in the Amazon jungle. We need to put together a rescue mission immediately or whenever we get around to it. Thank you, Taker. What are you giggling at, Blabs?
I'm editing the thing and it's just April.
We've lost her.
Spectre says, late? YouTubers are never late. They start their live streams precisely when they mean to. Gandalf, maybe. Thank you, Spectre Wolf. And Tamamo says, you're telling me to do this on purpose? The nerve. Hey, have another super chat for your audacity. Keep us waiting, thinking you're playing 4D chess. Shaking my head. That's right. It's all right here. All right, we do see every one of your super chats, Director Nations, Rumble Rants. We will see and read every single one of them throughout the show. We're glad you're with us today. Hit the thumbs up button while you're joining us because, once again, there's a direct correlation between discovery of the show in real time and you hitting that thumbs up. So we would greatly appreciate that. Boop. There we go. With that said, it is time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment, friends.
Hey, bro!
It's time for hard news.
Hard news.
Let's go. Last day for April here on.
Hey, bro!
There it is. It's pretty perfect. Good stuff. We have an anniversary today, an anniversary of 1 day old, because yesterday after the show, we had 3 more Sega, it says Mega Drive games, but I always prefer the Genesis name. Genesis games added to Nintendo Switch Online. And I would say 2 of these games I'm familiar with, not familiar with the other one. Streets of Rage 1.
Okay.
Classic beat 'em up here. Super Thunderblade, which is like a helicopter game. And then eSWAT. I've never seen eSWAT before.
Oh, eSWAT's a classic.
Is it?
Yeah. You go back and forth between being like human and also like a RoboCop kind of character. So it's semi-platformer-esque. It's a platformer shooter. Pretty good game. It's actually a pretty good game.
Okay. All right. I've never seen this game before, but those are now available on your Nintendo Switch Online. Let's check out some quick gameplay of this because I'm not familiar with this game at all. Looks like you got your man with a gun. All right. And let's see. He turns into, there we go. He turns into let's go. Missiles and guns and jetpacks.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm down.
Can't go wrong with it. And the music's pretty decent too. Like most of the Sega music is always a banger. So this is a pretty good game. Music wise, play wise, difficult wise, you name it. Really good game.
You know, I was not a big fan of the Genesis twang. Let's see how this sounds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is very Genesis-y, if that makes sense. But 4th mission, start. Attack mad scientist. Let's go. See, that's all the story you need right there.
That's it.
Good. Well, that game is available right now over on, wow, look at that action. That's good stuff. Over on your Nintendo Switch Online. You can play that, which, hey, maybe we'll see that on, no, we will never see that on Blast versus. That's too niche. But, maybe one day we'll check that out. So there's that. Keeping it in video games here as we stumble through today's show with a lot of quick hits. Lots of quick hits today. I saw this. I like Time Extension. Do you ever go to Time Extension Phoenix? Time Extension.
No. I don't even know what the hell that is.
Yeah, it's a website. It's built around like retro culture and stuff.
Okay.
Pretty good stuff. They've showed this. Nike's newest sneaker pays tribute to one of the N64's finest, and it sold out almost immediately. It's called the Big Head Mode sneaker from Nike, which I didn't. Okay, sounds good, but it's an homage to 007, GoldenEye 007 on the N64, and it's going to scroll down here and take a look here. This is, you see the gold on it. I think this is pretty cool on the back. They have the
there you go. Okay,
so there's your homage, and it sold out very, very quickly. It's called the Nike Air Max 1 low poly big head mode, which is designed to be an unofficial homage to the classic N64 first person shooter, as well as the iconic DK mode. So I don't really see it outside of this personally, but
I was confused at first. I didn't really see where the GoldenEye was, but the back with the energy meters, whatever on the back makes sense.
Yeah. So there you go. I've not seen this, but it looks pretty neat. I wonder how much they cost. $160 asking price. So that's pre-tariff, because these things were made like for 6 cents over in China. So do you have any like special? Do you have any like Jordans or any like really nice Nike shoes?
Yeah, I got a bunch of Pumas from Harry Potter collaboration. I mean, I literally did. Come on, it happened last week. I also got some Reebok, whatever you want to call them, the collaboration with Harry Potter, but yeah. Hey, you also saw my Star Wars sneakers. I had those in Texas.
Love it.
I've ruined everything, haven't I?
Phoenix, what about you? Do you have
I don't. Your boy Phoenix used to shop at Payless, then they closed down, so I bought out like the entire inventory, and I'm still coasting 10 years later.
Let's go!
Nice.
Hey, he's a man of the people, and I love that. I love
Hey,
that.
bro.
All right, oh, thank you, Blabs. Out of nowhere. Okay. Once again, last chance for promo code April over at Side Scrollers Plus. Get your discount. Is that going to be a reoccurring theme today, Blabs?
I think so.
It's going to be a reoccurring theme in June.
Woo! It's fine. I'm fine.
All right. We're going to get to that 400 today. I can feel it. All right. Let's go here. We have an update here with Fantastic Four. What's going on with this, Blabs?
Right, so I don't know if you ever watched like the original Fantastic Four, where it was Chris Evans as Johnny Storm before he was Captain America. If you didn't know, Johnny Storm's a womanizer, and so he's now been given the James Bond treatment, where he's like, this is the new Johnny Storm, right? So it's Joseph Quinn, aka he was in Stranger Things. He's the one with the long hair. What was his name? Eddie or whatever it was. He died. Kevin Feige and I were speaking about previous iterations of him. He was branded as this womanizing devil-may-care guy, but is that sexy these days? I don't think so. This version of Johnny is less callous with other people's feelings, aka the Johnny that he's supposed to be is not the Johnny we're gonna get. So it's
Good
the
to
James
see
Bond
Marvel's
treatment.
learning their lesson. It's good.
Yeah, it's the James Bond treatment. He's no longer going to be a womanizer. He's no longer going to be true to his character or anything. So shout out Marvel, you learned nothing.
Can I just be honest? This is Joseph Quinn guy.
Yeah.
I don't think this guy has any idea how to be a man.
I would agree.
Like, what
Little soy.
the most soy. So I don't want to hear anything about like some soy bitch ass over to this is not the way a man should act. Go fuck yourself. Like, with all due respect, dude. Like, what are we even doing here? That's gonna sound toxic. Guess what? It is.
Like,
right?
I
That
was
is
kind of
toxic.
interested in this movie, Fantastic Four remake. This is the third remake, basically, in the last 20 years.
Right.
But after hearing this, I'm like, so you're not going to make the characters true to how they were written in the source material? Oh, I'm so surprised. It's 2025. Next, I'll go back and play something else or watch something old.
You know, there's this what's the scene? What is that? Oh, in The Wedding Singer. And there's a scene right after Robbie Hart gets dumped.
I
And
love The Wedding Singer, by the way.
it's a phenomenal movie.
One of my favorite movies.
Robbie is sitting on the porch on the outside, and his ex-fiance walks up, Linda, and she's trying to explain everything to him. And this is where he's like, I would have been nice to know yesterday, or whatever it is, right? And then the little like 5-year-old kid walks up and he goes, Linda, you a bitch, right? That's what I feel like we need to have for people like this. Like, you a bitch if you're acting like that. And then and going back to this idea of like, he was branded as this womanizing devil may care guy.
He's branded. That's like his character.
Right. But is that sexy today? Like the idea of this mysterious guy who's all about, being callous and awesome. And like, guess what? Women like confidence.
I was going to say that. Yep.
Women love confidence. I know this for a fact. Blabs, can you confirm this or deny this?
Confirm.
Okay. If you're walking around and you're like, like, I'm not saying you need to go up and smack some girl on the butt, but you can go up and at least approach them. And I think that there is something missing. We saw a stat. If I can go a little deeper on this, we saw this stat about how it was like over 50% of like men over the age of 25 have like never approached a girl. I know I'm getting the stat wrong, but it's stupid. The idea that you have all these men who are scared shitless to be men and go up and actually have a conversation with women. They have baited an entire generation of men by telling them how wrong they are, by telling them what horrible people they are. I don't care if you're white, black, Latino, whatever, right? You've been told that you're bad, that you shouldn't act a certain way, that masculinity is bad. And that's bullshit. And there's going to be people are going to talk about the response to this. I think in the next 10 years, we're going to see a return to action movies, fucking 1980s Stallone style movies.
I hope so.
I think we're definitely going to see a bounce back from that, because there's always, it's like the clock, it just goes back and forth. It swings this way, then it comes all the way back this way. Then it's going to go back this way. And we'll see it swing back multiple ways for the duration of my life. And, but this is like a great example of that, right? I just,
do you think it's going to, at least, like culturally in TV and film, do you really think it's going to swing back the other way? Or do you think at this point they're so infiltrated by the cult that it's going to be hard, and it's going to take outsiders, independent people like us, etc., to make things?
I think it's going to be independent creators.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
Yeah,
and I actually have the best example of that. So we had Jennifer Say on last week, XXXY Athletics, and she released a trailer.
Yeah.
That I saw it today. I was like, oh my God, I love this. And it really applies to what we were just discussing. So I'm just going to let it play. It's about 40 seconds long.
Yeah.
April.
This is not toxic. And neither is this. Or this. Or this.
My 8-year-old daughter knows it's inappropriate, and yet y'all sit there silent.
This is not toxic. This is necessary. And you are not toxic. We think you're essential. You're indispensable to a healthy society, to creating strong families, chivalrous sons, and fearless daughters. So, here's to masculinity. Here's to XY.
Let's go.
Dude, it's great. I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. Love everything about that. And they're not wrong. Like this idea of man shaming and masculine shaming, get fucked, right? And it's going to take strong men to pull these weak pussies out of this. And I hate to be so callous, but sorry, sometimes men are callous. I have no problem with being callous and blunt and upfront and using the blunt edge to get the message through sometimes. It's unacceptable. Because here's the thing. Once again, as my daughters get older, do you think I want them dating some beta bitch like that? Hell no. I want a strong man who's going to watch over them and protect them and open the door for them and make sure that they're cared for and taken care of, right? Anyone with a daughter wants that. I don't know. The good news is that I do see that that masculinity. Kind
Resurgence,
of
kind
yes,
of.
the resurgence for sure. I do see that. So
It's gotten so bad out there. Like, look, I've been an artist my whole life, and now that I'm considered amongst that community to be the most alpha son of a bitch that's ever existed is a sad state of affairs for men.
Way to prop yourself up there, bro.
Yeah, like my community, like, man, you are really toxic now. Like, whoa, cool down the testosterone. Like, I've never heard that in my whole life, and yet here I'm hearing it all the time. That's bad. That's not good society.
Hey, his name is Phoenix, but we're just going to call him the Alpha from here. The Alpha
You're
male
damn right.
Phoenix. That's right. Hey, Rod came in and says, happy Friday. Craig, you should play The Messenger. It's a really great game. Blabs, you should try play the original TMNT on the NES. For Montez.
Oh, you would love The Messenger. Have you played it?
Played it, beat it.
Okay.
Yes. Messenger is phenomenal. Very, very good game. Very, very difficult. And super fun. Yes. Thank you very much, Rod. Appreciate that greatly. Crazy T says, hi, guys. Hi, Phoenix. Montez. Thank you. Great. Thanks, Crazy T. Great to see you.
I changed Phoenix's name to Alpha. I don't know if anyone saw that
You're
yet.
damn right.
Winterfell says, it's also been 1 year since O.J. Simpson died. To this day, the real killer is still at large.
One day we may catch him.
Wolf and Wing says, April.
April.
Montez.
April.
Kratos El Gretos says, Blabs would buy lasagna soup if they did a Harry Potter collaboration.
Ew, no, I wouldn't. I have standards. You can ask Craig. Every time I see like the chibi, I'll be like, no.
Oh my gosh. Give it up for Cookie Kaiju and Tanuki Turtle. Let's go. Thank you guys very much for becoming brand new Plus members using promo code
April.
Today is I like that you have the sound effect of him falling as well at the end of that.
April.
Use that promo code at the end. Last day for that. Once again, coming up immediately after today's show, exclusively over on Plus, I'll be playing everyone's favorite game, Sex with Hitler, a live stream exclusively to Side Scrollers Plus. Make sure you join us over there. It's going to be great. Marius also says Joseph Quinn looks like a discount Mark Zuckerberg.
You know, he kind of does. Kind of does.
Bentley came in and says, don't lie, Phoenix. You haven't bought shoes in 10 years because you're still paying off your loan from buying all those copies of Tomb Raider Legend. Hashtag Montez.
Son of a bitch. It's actually pretty accurate. But...
Let's go. Ian came in with the $50, 50 euro monies. He says, yes, we're having a testy testosterone Friday. There's your testosterone booster right there. Hey, it's great to see, by the way, give it up for Ian right there. It's great to see recent competitor of Nerd Duel, Vera Dark, in the chat.
Oh,
Vera, it's always a pleasure to see you. And yes,
dominated.
Vera, I do agree. Stunning and brave gameplay coming today over at Side Scrollers Plus, which will be great. Okay, man, oh man. Wasp came in and says, my options are to ask women for a date, then get falsely accused of sexual assault, or get married and have a wife file for divorce, take half my stuff in custody of the kids, or stay single. Well, Wasp, that's a very positive outlook you have on things.
Or find a better woman. There's also that option.
You don't have to get divorced.
Right.
Just throwing that out there. All right. Do you recall not too long ago, there was a downloadable characters. This was 11 months ago, where Call of Duty announced Cheech and Chong as a bundle to Call of Duty, which I'm sure that was a big hit. And they really went big on the whole getting high thing and the marijuana here when it comes to Cheech and Chong running around. Do you remember this, Blabs?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, they had a special gun, I believe, that actually
It looked like a vape and everything, or a bong, I should say. Yeah.
Yes, the bong gun is there. So, anyways, they have upgraded that now, and they are totally leaning into the whole pothead stereotype. As today, or I guess yesterday, they announced that Jay and Silent Bob are also coming to Call of Duty 6. So here's that.
Dropping in, looting up and getting cash. Popping noobs. Who gets the dubs? We get the dubs. Who gets the dubs? We get the dubs. Fucking Call of Duty, man!
This beat's sitting outside some store for sure.
Let's kick some ass. Yeah!
So there you go.
Yeah, not really for me, I'm going to be honest.
Well, I appreciate that they censor the word ass as they're running around with pot leaves on their
people.
guns. I mean, there's some, some irony on all that.
Mhm.
So, but hey, whatever. They must know something we don't. I didn't know. Like their last movie, Jay and Silent Bob, the reboot, like failed miserably. So I don't know if Jay and Silent Bob are as popular as they were 25, 30 years ago, but they're now in Call of Duty. So if you want to go out and get your Jay and Silent Bob, which as we heard Silent Bob now speaking, also kind of odd, you can go do that and play it now. So there we go. Apparently Greystone says, no, they went woke. Jay and Silent Bob went woke.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did they?
Well, Kevin Smith did at least. I mean, so all of his stuff is.
Oh, did he cry somewhere on a stage somewhere?
He's the worst, Kevin.
Butterfly landed on my finger. Yeah.
Not an alpha.
No.
As Phoenix would let you know, the alpha Phoenix right here.
Kind of guy I like to beat up.
That's right. That's right. The kind of guy you just like to step over and smash his face in, Phoenix. That's right.
Damn right.
Grace D says masculinity is always sexy. A real man's man, like Phoenix. Let's go.
He probably hurt himself when he just did that, didn't you?
I did a little bit.
Bruised a little bit right there. Hey, Vanish, thank you so much for the $1. That's nice. Thank you very much. All right. This was interesting. I saw this and I was like, wow, this is kind of where we're at. Over on Instagram, look, the Power Rangers they've been a thing for 30 plus years now. I remember them coming out in the early 90s. And we know now that the Power Rangers were just a reskin of a Japanese show, right? At least that's my understanding of it. And then they kind of put in the American actors to fill out and fluff out the story, right? So there was this article from People magazine. And the article says, Power Rangers writer admits casting Black and Asian actors as Black Ranger and Yellow Ranger was, quote, such a mistake. Says Walter Emmanuel Jones played Zach Taylor, the Black Ranger, and Thoi Trang played Trini Kwan, the Yellow Ranger here. Now, the Black Ranger has come in and chimed in on this. It says, incredible how many media outlets pick this up. However, while some chose to seek out the negative, I've always believed in focusing on the positive. I understand the impulse to address what might be seen as cultural insensitivity, but calling it a mistake would dismiss the impact it had on countless people around the world who found inspiration and representation in TV's first Black superhero. Morph it into none other than the Black Power Ranger. It was a mistake. It was a milestone. It was an honor. Swipe to hear me speak about this in the recent episode of Jim Cummings' pod. So, I think that's such a great way to look at it. They're like, everyone's over here looking at this negative over here, like, oh my gosh. And I'm curious if the writer of the Power Rangers was some white dude, which I would imagine it is, who now is overwhelmed with white guilt. Did you guys pick up on that when you guys were kids? That the Black Ranger was black and
I never watched the Power Rangers.
What about
I
you?
would see like glimpses here and there, and that's it.
Amy Jo Johnson, like one of my first crushes ever, the Pink Ranger. Look, you'd kid around every once in a while about the Black and Yellow Ranger, but you moved on because you just either liked the show or whatever. I just feel like everyone nowadays, I'm not saying anything new here, just loves looking at everything through the lens of racism and all this other bullshit. Back in the day, we did a quick laugh and you moved on. My guess was coincidental.
Well,
question actually, because was the Pink Power Ranger played by a white person?
Yes. Amy Jo Johnson.
So how come no one ever called out that, saying that's racist?
Good point, Blebs.
Well, or why is the Pink Ranger a girl, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
Yeah. Why is no one? It's only because like black and Asian or whatever. Now that's a problem. Like, come on, get real. It's just a fucking color.
Can I tell you?
It
can I
doesn't
tell you
mean
exactly
anything.
why?
We have real problems in the world, but no, let's focus on the Power Rangers.
Can I tell you why, Blabs? Because nobody cared.
Yeah.
Because in the 90s, like, look, there were issues in the 90s with race relations. I think we'd be blind to see that. Obviously, Rodney King and all that stuff. But our generation growing up didn't give a damn about any of this stuff. Not one bit. So this is the Power Rangers here, right? You got the pink Power Ranger, you got the nerdy guy, the kind of, I don't know. And the green Power Ranger, he was the cool one because he was originally the bad guy, and then he turned good, right? That was the whole idea.
Yep, Tommy, yep.
But nobody cared. And I think that's the thing that, like, I feel, and maybe this is just rose-colored glasses looking, but I feel like this idea of looking through the lens of race is it was non-existent when I grew up.
No, you could argue the 90s was like a huge course correction. Like we had that, we were all, we're colorblind, all this other bullshit. And then they found power in division.
Yes.
But I would say the 90s was like on the absolute right path.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't remember it being.
I am Alpha. I'm telling you, you're correct.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate
You're
that,
welcome.
Phoenix, and I appreciate your alpha attitude, which is good. Chat, please correct me because I'm sure a lot of you grew up in the 80s and 90s, and I just don't remember it being an issue at all or being discussed at all. The idea of like any of this stuff, and ultimately, if this dude who was the writer of this had, deems this as a mistake or whatever, maybe the writer should probably look at himself in the mirror and be like, I am I don't know. He clearly needs to look at himself in the mirror. I want to actually find this article here. Let's see, People Power Rangers. Let's just see what's going on here.
My guess is it was just him trying to advertise to get another job. He probably hasn't worked in a while. I figured he'd make some, he'd say something controversial and get noticed. That'd be my guess. It's always using that shit for power. It's always
right. So let's see. Here's the actual article here. He says in the third episode of Investigation Discovery's new docuseries, Hollywood Demons, titled "The Dark Side of the Power Rangers."
Good Lord.
Power Rangers head writer Tony Oliver addressed the controversy around casting of the black actor and an Asian actress as a black and yellow Ranger. By the way, extremely sexist here because I thought we were past the idea of actress. I thought we were all actors. That's all.
What are you, Emma Watson? I'm not an actress. I'm an actor. Me. Now you have a vagina. You're an actress.
Oliver claims they weren't thinking about stereotypes and didn't realize the end. Well, that's good. That's good. Isn't that a great thing?
That's the colorblind of the 90s.
Oh, well, now his overall white guilt has set in, and he realizes what a mistake it would be. I'm curious if this guy is let's see who this guy is, because I don't. Was he the Green Ranger? Because that's the picture that I'm seeing here.
Wait, the head writer you're talking?
Yeah, is that what I'm seeing? Is he the? Hold on. Was the Green Ranger?
Green Ranger has passed away. So
okay, it says Tony. Well, whenever I search for Tony Oliver Power Rangers, this is what I get: is the Green Ranger.
I think
guy.
Tommy Oliver might be the character's name. I think.
Okay. Well, he's also the head writer. So, anyways. How fucking stupid! Like
so stupid.
These people are insane, and good for the Black Power Ranger over there for just being based. Good stuff, man.
And to me, again, and I'm gonna keep saying, I have a feeling this is more about just trying to get work because the head writer I've never heard of a head writer doing casting decisions. He didn't write like the Black Power Ranger must be black, and then they listen to the writer. Writers are never listened to. That would be someone else responsible for it. So the whole thing just smells of typical trying to make controversy so that they can climb the ranks somewhere.
I was watching a clip of what's the guy's name? There's Jimmy Kimmel and Adam Carolla. Adam Carolla from The Man Show. He obviously he does all his podcasting stuff. He was talking about I think it's like the something coffee show. There's this show that he was on a podcast with these guys, and he was talking about how in Hollywood, how it works. And the analogy that he used was, let's just say the head of Netflix, his wife is a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan, and they're playing the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl. And you're like, well, I'm a huge Eagles fan. And then someone's like, well, no, actually, he's a Chiefs fan. And really what it comes down to is the analogy is that if you don't think a certain way, if you're not a Chiefs fan, then you're not going to get a gig, right? And oftentimes, whether you're an Eagles fan or a Chiefs fan, you toe the company line to get that next opportunity. Otherwise, you won't have any other opportunities. So there's just a few power players. And he brought this back to like the idea of COVID and the messaging that you see of people on stage and, all the virtue signaling that you see associated with this. And it was really kind of interesting to think about. And as you said, him just kind of casting up his virtue signal, his flag, saying, "Hey, look at me! I made a mistake back then. It was so someone please hire me here."
Yeah,
we had Blabs. I know you wanted to talk about this stunt work being recognized, but I really don't care. I don't want to talk about the Hollywood shit with that. So,
well, fine.
I mean, just know that they're going to be giving out some new awards there. So
this may not be surprising because I am the most alpha human being on earth, but I actually wanted to be a stuntman when I was growing up, and I would throw myself off buildings, all sorts of type of shit. I just found out that I wasn't very good at it. I just kept hurting myself.
Yeah.
But so I'm happy that they're getting recognized. I'll say that real quick. I'm happy they're finally getting recognized. And hopefully it'll promote more physicality and less CG work, like to actually start seeing more Tom Cruise kind of action sequences as opposed to CG. And now we can end the topic there.
I love that idea. And you wonder if people are going to hold off on doing any big stunts until they can actually be nominated for it now.
Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me.
Bet that's going to happen. All right. Aaron came in and says, I didn't watch Power Rangers. Was the red Power Ranger native? Winterfell says the Captain Planet casting was way more problematic. The redhead had a fire ring. Very offensive. You can find offense in everything. Thank you very much, Winterfell. Give it up for John P22, a brand new member of Side Scrollers Plus. Love that. Thank you so much, John P. Use promo code April. Today only. The last day.
April.
Thank you. Over at sidescrollersplus.com. Aaron says, Montez, let's go. We did hit our Montez goal today. But first, before we get to our Montez goal, Raider, great to see your face, came in with the 5403 super chat. Says the mid-90s was the start of the hyphenated names, i.e. blank American. Ah, yes, African American, Native American. Yeah, this is true. This is true. Thank you, Raider. Appreciate that. Massive support. That is huge. Love to see that. We do have Montez. I'm feeling lucky today. Blabs, you get to pick.
Me? I want Mario.
Bitch! Montez!
No. Sorry.
You're not getting it, Blabs.
Sorry, Blabs. She's so sad now. Well, maybe we'll hit our next Montez goal, and we'll I just set up a new goal for everybody.
And then bait and switch it again.
That's right. Thank you. That's good. We went through life with Brian. Says the head writer for Power Rangers was Tony Oliver. There you go. The Green Ranger. Like I said,
I got to look this up.
Yeah, please do. Thank you so much. Willing to life with Brian. Casey Kessler says black and yellow are not as problematic as white Power Ranger. That's true. Good point right there. All right, we conservative for 5 says the 90s were incredible. I don't remember hearing anything about race until the 2010s. Correct. All right. Was says, as per my last super chat, it's not that I don't want to get married. It's just that finding the right woman who won't ruin your life will be getting harder than beating Dark Souls with a Guitar Hero controller. Wasp, the beacon of positivity here. Thank you, Wasp. Marius says, did he bother to ask how the black and yellow Rangers felt about this mistake? No, of course not. And Winterfell says the white Power Ranger was way more cringe. Kevin Smith never apologized to Clownfish TV over the leaks of the He-Man series he made. Once he lost weight, he became a douche like Seth Rogen. Thanks, Rod. Max Small says, I guess Tony Oliver is also famous for being the voice actor of Rick Hunter in Robotech. I think that's why he ended up in Power Rangers. He worked on another localization project. He's perfect. Thanks, Max.
By the way, it appears he is both. So Tommy Oliver was in fact the head writer, and Tommy Oliver was in fact the Green Ranger.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What a piece of shit.
Such a piece of shit.
Because the Green Ranger was the coolest character. That's all I'm saying. Like, what a self-insert. We talk about self-inserts all the time, like wanting to be the cool guy. Like, you can't be the head writer and also the coolest character on the show. Just saying that's wrong.
Not an alpha move, Craig.
Not alpha at all. Not alpha. Okay, hold on. The chat's saying they don't read the chat. We do read the chat. Tony versus Tommy. Tony and Tommy are not the same. Okay, well, listen. Alpha figured out. Tommy Oliver was the Green Ranger. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that.
Oh, we got Eric mad too. Wrong and fake news.
Damn it. Sorry, Eric. Tamamo says the Green Ranger was played by Jason David Frank. Rest in peace. Not Tommy. Tommy Oliver, not Tony, was his character.
Right, but that was clearly, supposed
Get your
to be
shit
him.
together, Alpha, over there.
Let's go, Phoenix. Ian says, it's great that they have a new stunt category, not to be confused with the cunning stunt category.
True.
Thank you, Ian. Ecto Man came in as a brand new Plus member. Let's go, Ecto Man. Greatly appreciate that. Probably use promo code
Hey, bro.
over at Side Scrollers Plus. The last day you can do that, Ecto Man. Greatly appreciate that. Henry says, Yellow Ranger is no longer with us. Died in a car crash. Oh. Thank you, Henry. Switzerland Play says, say you're sorry for telling lasagna soup is a normal thing. I'm not going to apologize for that, Switzerland Place. I'm not going to apologize for saying that lasagna soup's a normal thing. I don't apologize for anything. I'm also not going to apologize for being excited about this. Ice Cube tweeted this out today. And I got a little excited for it. He is close to signing on to write and star in Last Friday for Warner Brothers and New Line. Now, Blabs, have you ever seen the Friday films before?
No, but I know you guys say I should because they're funny, right?
Top flight security of the world, Craig. Now, so here's the thing. The first Friday is awesome. The second one is insane and like not in a good way.
Like in a Transformers 3 kind of way. Shit.
Like, but the third one's really funny. The third one's really funny. The original one is like definitely the best, but the third one is really fucking funny.
So like it's funny and has a good plot for the first one, yeah?
Yes, yeah. Okay. So the first one takes place in the hood, right? And it's Chris Tucker and Ice Cube, and they're like boys, and they just hang out. And Chris Tucker gets I actually just watched it in the last month over on Netflix. But Ice Cube tries weed for the first time, becomes a pothead, and they got to deal with drive-bys and selling weed. Smokey's his name. That's his name. Chris Tucker's character is Smokey. Anyways, it's a great story. And at the end, there's a famous line where Chris Tucker's standing over, God, what's his name? The bully of the neighborhood. And he goes, "You just got knocked the fuck out, man." And it's classic. And the second one, he moves to the suburbs. And then the third one, he goes back to the hood and they become security officers. It's really, really good. So, but Chris Tucker left after the first one to go be in like the Rush Hour movies. His career was starting to take off. So, but the other guy who played, I don't even remember what the other guy's name is, but he's a great number two to Ice Cube in it as well. So, anyways, so yeah, they're making it looks like they're going to be making a new one called Last Friday, which I got to be honest, sounds pretty fun. So, the first one was in 1995. And the second one was in 2000, and then Friday After Next was in 2002. And apparently there was a short-lived animated series Okay, sounds good. That's fine. But here we go. Last Friday coming out in potentially 2026. You can see Ice Cube was the guy who pretty much wrote all of them. So, yeah. Phoenix, did you see the Friday movies?
I haven't. My friends have always told me to see them. They said I'd love them, so I got to check them out. And I said that they did say the third one was surprisingly good. You'd think the third one would be shit, and I've actually heard it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I would say the second one is definitely the least.
Mid?
It'd go 1, 3, 2 in order of it, right? Whereas like with Indiana Jones, for me, it's like 3 and then whatever, right? You know, as far at least the
3,
original.
1.
I don't count 4 and 5, right?
Yeah, as you shouldn't. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Let's. Oh my God, are you fucking serious?
But real quick, is that supposed to be is that like the last Friday? Are they pitching it that way?
Yeah, it's called Last Friday.
Yep.
Yeah, which is awesome. Raptor says that's where "Bye Felicia" the meme came from. That's right. Bye Felicia. Dan came in and says I only watched the first 2 seasons of Power Rangers when I was a kid, but it never did click on me until I was a teenager and didn't realize. Oh, that's why. We move on. Thank you, Dan. Winterville says Craig got fired on his day off. That's right. Craig did get fired on his day off. That's what happens in the movie. He gets fired in the first one. He got fired on his day off. And then he becomes security in the third one. Top flat security in the world, Craig. I feel like we should take all the little things, all the little sayings in that movie and make them little clips on our show, just because he's like the only lead character named Craig in any sort of nominal success movie. So, all right. Hey, we talk about all this stuff happening at Universal and all the good things happening over there. And then we have this news just announced by Disney.
Oh, I can't wait.
Disney just announced their Pride Night events for toddlers. For toddlers.
Good Lord.
LGBTQ Pride. So here we are. We have this right here happening over in Disneyland. Disneyland After Dark Pride Night. Experience a joyous after-hours event at Disneyland Park, celebrating the diversity that makes us unique. There we go. And it only cost $169. You think that's right?
Is that on purpose?
Of course it is.
Rodimus says this is proof that rich parents do this for brownie points. Wow.
Well, yeah, look at all the celebrities who have like they, them children all the time. They just probably compete. Well, yeah, you have one transgender child. Well, I got 2.
Look, if you want to be gay, right? Go be gay. Do it. That's fine. But
go be gay.
If this doesn't
be
tell
the best
you,
gay you can be.
Do it. Go
absolutely
be gay. Right? Whatever. But if this doesn't tell you that Disney doesn't give a fuck about you, that if you're going to have a Pride Night and you're going to say, come one, come all, celebrate Pride for $169. Everybody come on, let's celebrate together. For $169.
Exactly.
It's gross.
They don't give a shit about these people, right? And by the way, remove this background here, and this looks like something out of the 90s. Like all these costumes look like they came out of 1994. They may have just reused them all. I'm just saying. It's crazy. It's crazy. And like, I don't know when people are going to understand it. Like they don't care about you. It's a total grift.
No, it's actually pretty dark and grim when you think about it, because they're just profiting off of that thing. They really don't care about you. They're seeing you as a cult, and they're going to make profits off of that cult mentality. Of that, whenever we make whatever agenda X is, you're going to come and pay for it. To prove your virtual signal, it costs this amount of money to get in, basically.
That's right. Now you can be ultra gay and prove your gayness for $169.
Finally.
Congratulations. Way to go. Well, if anybody goes to that event, please let us know how it goes. I'm sure it'll be very, very fun and vibrant and exciting for you. So,
do you remember back in the day, the whole idea, and again, I'll remind everyone, art community and stuff like that. So a lot of gay people obviously in that community, and all they wanted to do in the 90s and 2000s was they wanted to fit in. They wanted to be treated like everybody else. They didn't want big arrows pointing to them. And so now it's like, it's amazing how no one is seeing just the grift that this clearly is, because most of them just want to be normal, just like everybody else.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Or seen normal as everybody else.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
And I think that's the issue, is that they're clearly being exposed and propagandized and taken advantage of. Like, whereas, yes, the it goes back to the old slippery slope thing that you see online, the meme, the idea of like, we just want to be accepted, we just want whatever. And then by the end, it's like, oh, we just want to be in the girls' locker room,
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and quickly pivot from that. But before we do, Lifting Gnome came in with a 10, says, it's Friday. You ain't got no job. You ain't got shit to do. That's right. That's straight from Friday right there. Love that. Thank you so much, Lifting Gnome. Reese clarification says Tommy Oliver equals Green Ranger. Tony Oliver equals the writer. Tommy Oliver equals some guy who likes Tommy toys. There you go. Thank you, Reese. Appreciate that. Taker says the most unbelievable part of the Power Rangers was that Black and Asians get along. I can't believe giant robots fighting monsters, but not that. Max says nobody cared about racial relations until the communists went to work agitating everything and the race hustlers that profit off it. As a child, I never cared that the Black Ranger was black. He and the Red Ranger were my favorites because I liked the colors, had the toys and all. Let's go, mailman. The Critical Catastrophe says most didn't give it two shits about race in the 90s. You are correct.
We didn't care at all.
Tamamo says, I am the same age as Blaz, but watched all the way from Mighty Morphin to Mystic Force. Even in the early 2000s, no one cared and few even questioned. That's right. Marmalin for 10 says, Jay streams on Twitch, so kind of makes sense. Plays Fortnite and COD and shit. Jay from Silent Bob. Thank you, Marmalin. Jason says, I got a lot of love for Kevin Smith, but he peaked with Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Thank you, Jason. All right.
Right around the time he became a pothead, everything just went downhill. You can see it happen.
Well, we have a lot of
smell it then too if it became a massive pothead.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's go and move on. Okay, so we had this guy come in the chat the last couple of days. I saw his chats and he was kind of spamming this stuff out, and he kept saying, Craig, you need to re-challenge Souljaboy. Now, both of you probably have no idea what he was talking about. Let me give you a little background. So in like 2000, do you remember, who Souljaboy is first and foremost?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the singer.
Crank that Souljaboy, right?
Yeah.
So when that song came out, it was like a viral hit. It would hit #1, and that's kind of carried him over the course of his career. And I'm sure he's had some other songs, whatever. He went on MTV, like their multiplayer blog back in the day, and he played Street Fighter 2 against Steven Totillo, who is a video game journalist, and he's still out there doing his thing. Anyways, it was embarrassing to watch both of them play Street Fighter 2. Like, they had no idea how to play the game. They were just like, it was like if you put a controller in front of somebody for the first time.
Like Blabs, yeah.
Yeah. It was like Blabs versus Street Fighter 2, and she's just flailing and trying to figure things out. Couldn't throw a fireball, couldn't do a special move, didn't know how to do any of that shit. So I wrote a diss track for Souljaboy to the tune of Crank That. And it's a very memorable moment from that time of the internet in like 2008, specifically if you were a fan of Screw Attack back then. Now, we can't play it here because we'd get flagged for copyright because it has the background track and all that stuff. But I still hear about Souljaboy and how, I need to challenge Souljaboy and stuff. Here's actually a screenshot of me from back then with my backwards hat, young Craig. And the video was actually pretty fun. We shot it in like a day, and it was any good. So I hear about Souljaboy all the time, but I don't know about what's going on in Souljaboy's life outside of like kind of making. I know he tried to do some video game console stuff, and it was like cheap knockoff Chinese stuff, and he was branding as his own. Well, we saw this from the BBC Blabs, which means
the big black
British
or the British Broadcasting Corporation, whichever you prefer.
In this case, the British. Listen, Blabs. Never on our show has it meant big black. Right?
I mean, it has once.
Only once, but that's clearly been seared into your brain. But Souljaboy has been ordered to pay $4 million after losing a sexual assault case. So he has been he's been ordered to pay $4.25 million to a woman who accused him of sexual battery and abuse. The unnamed woman sued the star in 2021, saying he allegedly raped her and beat her and sometimes kept her as a prisoner after she was hired as his assistant. The Souljaboy had denied abusing her and said the relationship was consensual, but a jury in a civil trial found him liable for sexual battery, assault, and gender violence. So there we are.
I don't know how like locking someone up is consensual.
I don't know. Maybe some people are into that, Blabs.
Some people are into kinky shit. Yes, Daddy, tie me up and leave me in a closet for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like, who does that?
Apparently, Souljaboy does that, and it cost him $4.25 million to do it. So,
what's with all these rappers just being absolute pieces of shit? From Diddy to like this guy, Jesus Christ.
Yes, total degenerates, like absolute degenerates. I don't know, man. You know, it's crazy to see. So, well, Souljaboy just lost a big old chunk of his net worth. Let's play the game. Let's play the Souljaboy net worth game. Phoenix, what do you feel Souljaboy's net worth is?
I'd say the fact that he had to do those console things means he's hurting lately. I'd say I don't put him anything above 10 million.
Okay. Blabs, Souljaboy's net worth?
Oh, I think actually probably a little bit more, maybe 15 million.
Souljaboy's net worth, according to CelebrityNetWorth.com, which $4.25 million is going to put bit old ding into this, $5 million.
Oops.
So
fairly well, millionaire.
Yeah. Sounds like he's going to need to be doing a little bit of cranking that, playing the old hits to take the next level there. So
he's going to be doing birthday parties soon if people will hire him.
Yes. Probably not.
Yes. Well, anyways, rest in peace, Souljaboy, in your career. That's rough.
You may need to write a sequel to that song, Craig. You may need to do another rap now about him.
Yeah, the year 2025.
I don't think anybody wants to see me rap in 2025.
No, that's true.
Nobody wanted to see me rap in 2008, which is what made it so good. It was great. Speaking of things nobody wants to see, but I'm doing it anyways, and degeneracy. Immediately after today's show, over on Side Scrollers Plus, based off of your request, I'll be playing Sex with Hitler. That is exclusively over on Side Scrollers Plus. You can join us immediately after the show. We still have a lot of the show to go, but I'd like for you to join me over there. And you can use today only. Today's the last day that you can use promo code April. Dong dong. To get
see him have sex with a certain somebody. Go ahead, become a member.
I am making no promises on how long this live stream will go.
You may finish quick. You never know. I mean,
it could go 5 minutes.
Innuendos in there somewhere.
I am making no promises, but it is going to happen. All right. I'm putting this forward. All right. Sorry.
I like that someone coded that game. That makes me happy that someone actually sat down and coded that.
Oh my gosh. Tamamo came in and says, I had a manager that was gay and unironically didn't know he was until the last day. No one cared. No one asked.
Exactly.
Worked with a trans person too. Same story. Right. Until you start shoving it in people's face, nobody cares.
Yep.
Scooter says, I got in a fist fight back in elementary school for saying that Mecha Godzilla would wipe the floor with Dragon Zord. I stand firm with this statement to this very day. Power Rangers was always mad to me. Hey, it's a very alpha thing to do, Scooter. Way to hold your own, buddy. Mecha Godzilla wiping the floor with Dragon Zord. Thank you, Scooter, for your story. Oh my God, Marius came in with the 70s. I don't know, Marius. Thank you for that, for your with your South African monies, if I recall. It says Souljaboy better start cranking out more Chinese knockoff consoles. That's right. That's exactly what
it's gonna be. Yeah.
Norm, good to see you. It says, in moral of the story, if a rapper wants to hire you as an assistant, say no.
Yeah, for real.
Oh my gosh. All right. Hey, this is just absolutely crazy. We've talked about alt tech. You know, we're live over on Rumble today. Hello, everybody on Rumble. If you guys are new, make sure you hit the follow button over on Rumble. By the way, I think we have some front page time over there today, which is good. Ooh. So join us if you're popping in over on Rumble. We'd love to see you guys there. We're closing in on 10,000 followers over there. I think we're like 140 away. So we'd love for you guys to join us. With that said, we talk about alt tech. There's locals, obviously. There's BitChute. There is Odyssey. There's a number of different alt tech platforms out there. BitChute is one of them. As I mentioned, our content, I believe, is syndicated out there. It's linked up to YouTube, and it just kind of goes out there automatically. It's nice when it auto syncs right here. Well, unfortunately, BitChute is no longer available in the UK
as fallen apart
now, as it is a free speech video platform, and it had to just straight up no longer be available in the UK due to the Online Safety Act. And this is the message that greets you. It says, to our valued users in the United Kingdom, after careful review and ongoing evaluation of the regulatory landscape in the United Kingdom, we regret to inform you that BitChute will be discontinuing its video sharing service for UK residents. The introduction of the UK Online Safety Act of 2023 has brought about significant changes in the regulatory framework governing online content and community interactions. Notably, the Act contains sweeping provisions and onerous corrective measures with respect to content moderation and enforcement. In particular, the broad enforcement powers granted to the Regulatory and Communications Services, Ofcom, have raised concerns regarding the open-ended and unpredictable nature of regulatory compliance for our platform. The BitChute platform has always operated on principles of freedom of speech, expression, and association, and strive to foster an open and inclusive environment for content creators and audiences alike. However, the evolving regulatory pressures, including strict enforcement mechanisms and potential liabilities, have created an operational landscape in which continuing to serve the UK market exposes our company to unacceptable legal and compliance risks. Despite our best effort to navigate these challenges, the uncertainty surrounding the OSA's enforcement of Ofcom and its far-reaching implications leave us no viable alternative but to cease normal operations in the UK. Wow. Phoenix, you're shaking your head.
Yeah, the UK has fallen. You're watching it in real time. Just everything that's going on over there, at least what you read every day on X and stuff like that, it's just falling apart. And it's like such a cautionary tale for us to watch what that looks like. You also saw it around the pandemic era of just everyone just falling apart and giving up all their rights and everything, freedom of speech just out the window. It's very depressing to watch.
People worry, we talk about this in the United States. This is something that can and will happen if you let it happen. And that's the most, I think you're right. The United States should use the UK as a precautionary tale. Whereas most people with sense will say that. Other people will say, we should use the UK as an example of what to do. And that's the scariest shit about it. People truly don't understand the idea of of forfeiting free speech and the dangers associated with that, and how fortunate we are, to be able to say what we want here in the UK. It's nuts and sad.
being able to speak is arguably what ensures there isn't ever violence, because it allows you to not bottle something up and feel like you've got no way out. You've got a voice. You can communicate your ideas peacefully. When you don't have that, then all that's left, and a lot of times, unfortunately, is force.
And and to see something as vanilla as posting online videos on a platform like BitChute be seen as like problematic.
Well, you can't have people getting ideas.
Can't have those ideas.
Yeah.
And if you think that's happening, like, think about what YouTube is doing to bend over to like the content that, like, our audience in the UK will probably shrink dramatically because of this, which sucks. But you can always watch over on Rumble, and you wonder if Rumble is going to be available in the UK. Like, how will this affect them? We'll see if BitChute is the first to fall when it comes to this. So, all right. Sigrun says, what's even funnier is that recently declassified government files suggest that Funny Mustache Man might have actually escaped to Argentina. That means the chance that Funny Mustache knowing of his games is not zero. That's weird.
I've actually heard about that, where he ran away to Argentina or something like that.
Yeah, that's a conspiracy theory. I use the phrase conspiracy theory not in a derogatory way. No, I'm not even going to go into that now.
Pivot. Where's Ross? I need Ross.
That's right. Where is he?
I gotta find Ross. Hang on.
Yep.
There you go.
There we go. Tamamo says, from the previous super chat about rappers and assistants, are you technically a rapper, Craig? And Phoenix and Blabs your assistants? Lock them up. But that's it. No, they are not my assistants. The only thing they're assisting in is growing this great platform that we're growing over here.
Where's Spoon Ninja with his help sign when you need him? Like,
right. Marius says, I got you, Blabs. Montez, part due. And then Marius came back and says, Montez. Guess what, Blabs?
Let me guess, Phoenix Pex now.
No, you say Mario again.
Well, I would like Mario, but
okay,
it'll probably be type.
Round 1, fight.
Bitch! Montez!
Fatality.
Montez!
Good job, Blabs. Way to pick.
I can just go and press the button, right?
No, you can't. That's ridiculous. And I can unclick it really quick. Hey, we do have one last goal today. We have one more Montez goal. Maybe we'll see if Blabs can get over there. We'll get there. It'll be great. Hey, let's talk about the Switch 2. Blabs, what are you doing? I see you thinking about something. What are you thinking about, Blabs? Wow, is that what you're thinking about, Blabs?
I clicked it
back to that BBC.
God dang, Blabs. I would like to be, for the record, Blabs pressed that, not me. Please, everybody clip that and put that on social media. Oh my God.
No! I was gonna say, hopefully, I was trying to phrase it that way. You'd be like, "What? Like you are a right?" But then you're like, "What are you thinking about?"
Big. Yeah. There you go. It's on her mind.
Go.
Oh. Anyway.
Wow. All right.
That's fine.
Try to focus on the show, Blabs, if you can.
Yeah.
Try and get that out of your mind.
Try my best, okay?
Yes. Hey.
Vote for me is a vote for boobs. That's right.
There we go. Okay, let's finish strong. Let's talk about the Switch 2. As we have, we talked about. I think we already know this, but Digital Foundry has done some analysis of the Switch 2 and found that it is reportedly on level to perform at PlayStation 4 graphics. Which we know this about the Switch. It's always it's going to be a
generation or two behind.
Yes, yeah. And that's fine. That's cool. Just a heads up there. Now, I did also see this podcast that had a former Sony boss, PlayStation boss, and this article is from IGN, says Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games mitigate the sticker shock because you want that content so bad. And he says you'll get your wallet out and you go buy it. Now, this is during a podcast interview here that this guy was on. It's called the Player Driven Podcast. This guy, you said, highlighted the contrasting strategies of Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo, where Sony and Microsoft are downplaying exclusive games as they move to PC and rival consoles, but Nintendo is keeping its games on its own consoles. He says, but right here you see, wow, that's kind of a hefty price hike for Switch 1 to Switch 2. And wow, $80 for a game. But if it's the only place where you can play Mario, then you get out your wallet and you buy it. And Donkey Kong and Zelda. The first party exclusivity kind of mitigates the sticker shock, if you will, and these price hikes because they want the content so bad.
I don't think he's accurate on that.
You don't?
I don't.
Okay.
I think in a better economy, maybe, but in a fluctuating, where we are right now, I'm very happy with where we're going. But at the moment, presently, to ask for 80 when parents are going to see on the shelves the old games for 60 or whatever, I think you're going to lose a decent chunk. Not everybody. You'll get the diehards, but you might lose some of those mom and pops in less wealthy areas.
I don't disagree. I think that so I see both sides of this, right? From an executive, like I know that some people are like, I hate exclusives, right?
Exclusives are good.
Yeah, exclusives are good, especially for Nintendo, right? Sony doesn't need to worry about exclusives. Microsoft doesn't need to worry about exclusives, but Nintendo still needs to worry about exclusives. Here's the thing, is that when we've talked about this, Nintendo does have its audience by the balls. They do. Why do they have it? Well, number one, nostalgia. And number two, that exclusivity, right? And they're squeezing, man. They're squeezing hard. And they're going to squeeze all the money out of your balls they possibly can. That is the reality of it. So I partially agree with what he's saying, because there will be people, whether it's 50%, 80%, 20%, there will be people who are willing to pay that. It's just a matter of, will it offset the people that won't? And
right.
I think Nintendo has done that market research. And they, Sir Spamalot says, because you will allow it. I hear you. And they're right. They're not wrong.
But as a parent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sure, all the parents you hang out with and stuff like that, I've got to imagine that sticker shock. Again, the diehard Nintendo fan obviously is going to get it. I'd probably be one of the guys that's going to be getting, because I love Nintendo. I love everything they make. But when you're looking at that family that now is looking at a game that's $80+ when they're going to go, but your old Switch, the games were 40 or 50 or whatever, we're not going to get that just yet. But wait for a sale, not understanding that Nintendo very rarely ever does sales. I do think you're going to see a bit of a dip. Nothing staggering, but probably a little bit of hurt for them.
Well, I mentioned this yesterday on the show. I don't know if they're going to see a dip from the. I think the dip that they'd see from the Switch 2 will be made up for on the Switch 1. I really feel like there's going to be a huge influx of Switch 1s being sold because of the sticker shock. So
yep.
But that's just me. On a total side note, we spent the last 10 days or so talking about Nintendo and kind of questioning a lot of the shit that they've done. I'd also like to say fuck you to Nintendo for creating such an amazing wonderland at Universal, where I'm going to walk in and say, God damn it, this is inside the Nintendo store at Universal, and they just beat you over the head with nostalgia here. So fuck you, Nintendo, for doing that. Can't stand it. Here's another one. Walking in, you got your Zelda sword on their Master Sword here, and your Triforce. Thanks to Krista for this over here on X. And then you have this as well. Oh my God. Fuck you, Nintendo. With the awesome stained glass as you walk in.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Oh my God.
They should sell those. Like mini
I think
ones?
they could use Pride stuff, personally. That's just me.
Here it is in full motion here. Oh God.
Yeah, they should totally sell like mini stained glass windows. People would go crazy for them on their windows.
God, what a bunch of assholes. And they know it. They know it. They're being assholes, and they know it. They know they got you. And they got your nuts in a vice. And they do it with your nostalgia. It's rough. All right, let's go ahead and we got one more big story today, which is our lead story. And before we get there, I feel like it's important for us to do a little backstory here. Today's thumbnail has Yasuke in it. Here it is, right here. Here, by the way, Blabs, here was the alternate thumbnail. I just wanted to share with everybody.
Yeah.
There we go. Look at that. Look at Blabs'.
That's trolling.
Yeah, that's good. We'll make sure to use this one in the future. That's good.
How did that face even get made, Blabs?
Right, so I was filming a video for my channel, and I was doing testing of audio, making sure everything's good. So I'm just going la 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 like that, whatever. And dude, my face is wild. So when I went and clicked pause, it was just that still, and I just sat there laughing at my computer after reviewing it because I filmed that 2 days ago, and I finally looked at the footage yesterday. I was just crying, laughing, and I had to share it on Twitter because it's too funny, man. I don't care. It's hilarious. Have at it. We need more laughter in the world. So there you go. Enjoy my silly face.
And now it's a basic thumbnail for us on our day-to-day
Yes, it
basis.
actually is in the folder, guys. He wasn't lying when he said he added it. As soon as I saw that popped up, I checked. I was like, oh, shit.
Yep. All right, so a little bit of background here. Speaking of the thumbnail, we've talked about Assassin's Creed Shadows multiple times. By the way, we should probably check, Blast, see if you can pull up Assassin's Creed Shadows Steam numbers right now, if you wouldn't mind, just to kind of take a look. But there's been a lot of talk about whether or not Yasuke was a samurai or not. He's one of the two main protagonists in Assassin's Creed Shadows. Just as a brief background, if you've been living under a rock, this Japanese historian said that Yasuke was a samurai. Been a lot of talk. He says there seems to be a lot of talk about Yasuke, a black man who served Obunaga Oda. Historical records about him are quite scarce. There is no doubt he was a samurai serving Nobunaga. I can say this because the historical documents that we have state that Nobunaga gave him a stipend. He was given a house and he was given a sword. And then we have this as well here from Learning the Lost. This is crazy. The entire Yasuke fanfic story was fabricated by a white man named Thomas Lockley using fake Wikipedia sources. He even deceived Japanese people. Everything you read about Yasuke is fake, imposed by white liberals. In 2024, they erased history of Wiki for the game. And you can see this right here, Wikipedia kind of editing it here. And then we got this, is playing more Assassin's Creed Shadows. I do have to say it's a nice little touch that Yasuke joins the game properly, the exact moment when he disappears from the history books. That's a good way to use historical character in a fun way since he's a blank slate at that point. And Kirsha came in and says, wow, you don't want to see a samurai to dick down the emperor's sister must be some kind of racist. This means, and then obviously they're, poking fun of all the people here. So we saw all this here, and it's been a big back and forth, and we saw people in Japan going crazy. Assassin's Creed Shadows is now a national issue in Japan. The original historian, his lies were exposed, and talking about the false claim that Yasuke being a samurai. Well, now it looks like this is being moved into Hollywood, as a development deal has been signed to make a samurai epic, Yasuke Way of the Butterfly. And you can see this right here. So we are going deep into this now, as Japan's Toyco, I want to make sure I'm saying that right, signs development deal with South African's Pimbili Media for samurai epic Yasuke Way of the Butterfly. Now, there's a few things to take from this note here. It's a 6-picture development slate.
Wow.
Backed by Industrial Development Corporation of South Africa. Set against the rich background of Africans empire and its trade ties to India, China, East Asia. The story follows Yasuke on his journey from the African continent to feudal Japan in the 16th century, where he was made a samurai after a local lord recognized his skill and dignity as a warrior. The producers describe it as, and here's the big phrase here, a sweeping international cinematic event rooted in untold history and cross-continental connection right there. So this is spearheaded by Yuji Kojima, the vice president of the company and head of Toys Kyoto Studios. The development deal is part of Japanese studios' ambitious international expansion strategy, which involves international co-productions and developing remakes and original materials for global audiences. So they're going in on this. And this is very interesting because, look, I don't know the first thing about Yasuke and the reality of what happened. And here's the other reality is that neither does anybody else, right? There are some records that people are pulling from and they say this points to this, and other people will say this record points to this, and we can point to this Thomas Lockley guy and him being a liar or whatever. I get it. But it definitely feels like whether it's been proven that he was not a samurai or not, history is in the process of telling us now, this is being written that he was a samurai, to the point to where it's appearing in video games now and now movies. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on this, Phoenix?
Well, yeah, it seems like they may be just trying to doing everything they can to just make it historical fact. They want this to be the narrative. They want this to be a thing. I gotta say though, as a movie, it might do well in at least the States. You figure that, a lot of the I do speak on behalf of the Black community as Alpha Top Dog, but they do many of them happen to love old samurai films, things like that, and to be able to mix that with someone that they could connect to might be a great idea. I don't see how that's going to work in China. That'll be interesting to see that market. They're going to have to try to do digital erasing for the 2.5 hours. But I'd say if they just do a good movie and they don't put an agenda in it, stuff like that, it could actually be a decent film. But I'm with you. I think I'm with you here as far as that it's continued trying to change history or trying to force it, whether it's true or not. The narrative has to be this, is extraordinarily exhausting.
I'm excited for it. Think of the possibilities of a Yasuke Simulator sequel. Like, I'm down, man. Give me that shit.
I hope they actually make the movie based off of that lore.
Can you
He's got a bike.
You're muted, Craig. I'm down for it, though. I'm 100%.
Let's go. Love that. All right. So we will obviously follow this, and it is interesting to kind of see a Japanese company going in on this and saying, "Hey, let's make this happen." We'd love to hear your thoughts, normal men. What are your thoughts on this? Is it possible that he was a samurai, or is it possible that they are going out of their way to rewrite history? Media is a very valuable thing when it comes to history and preservation and such. And I saw this on a total side note. We've talked about how history is written by the winners, right? We all understand that. And a lot of history over the last, we've learned that there's a lot of things that have been withheld from people. And there's been a lot of things that we've gotten wrong about certain things over the last 50 years. It really makes you think about history as a whole. Like, as a whole, how much just what we've been told is a straight up lie or manipulated or changed or altered in some way, shape, or form. Over the last 100 years, 150 years, 10 years, 5 years, how much data is held back. It's a mess, man.
Well, look, I mean, you can just see it even today, and you can just see the false reality that some people completely live in based off of the narrative that they're given versus another. So if it's happening now, my God, imagine when you really can't fact check something that's a couple hundred years ago. My God, Lord only knows.
Right. Norm says and thank you very much, Norm, with the 20 Canadian money. He says one of the weirdest things about the whole Yasuke situation is that we don't know how the man. All right, there's something wrong about forcing a narrative on a man who, for all we know, hated his time in Japan.
That's true. He could have absolutely despised it.
Yeah.
But you did want to see the Steam charts for Assassin's Creed Shadows. So
how's that looking?
So we're at 16,128 players right now.
Okay, and that's how long ago this was released?
19 days ago.
Wow. Okay. All right. So it's seeing this little spike there, little every day as it's returning players here.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
How did the simulator do? I bet you that did pretty damn well, right?
Not as well as you'd think. It didn't
mostly, need to do that great, right?
Right. And I can't imagine it would. Maria says.
So, here's the Yasuke simulator. 14 players right now. All-time peak 270.
Let's go!
Yeah, let's go.
Hey man, I was one of those people. I love the game. Totally recommend. Good shit.
What is the? How much did you pay for that?
It was like $3 or $4 or whatever. It was on sale when I got it right at launch.
So the guy who made it, like, he's made like a couple $1,000s, right?
Yeah. Hey man, it was funny. Oh my god, I didn't realize the name of the developer. Are you ready? The developer is called History Accurate Developers.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's great.
I never paid attention to that. That's wild.
And I will remind History Accurate Developer, we are looking for a developer. So
maybe I'll reach out. Mary says, if anyone has a chance to correctly tell the story of an African going to Japan, then it's probably Japan and Africa. Thank you, Marius. Appreciate that. Zim, my boy, came in with the 50. Is that over on Rumble or is that over on local? On
Plus.
Oh, let's go, Zam. Thank you. Says, I want to say I'm strong enough to not buy the Super Nintendo Switch. Come on, help me normalize the name. But if it wasn't for Mario Kart World, I wouldn't be in 4 different pre-order wait lists. I'm the problem. I'm a hypocrite. Fuck you. I'll be having fun. There you go.
God bless.
Hey, Zem, like I said, the sooner we all understand that we're all giant fucking hypocrites, the better we're all going to be, right? And thank you for understanding your hypocritical nature of it, Zem. And thank you so much for your support over on Plus, which, by the way, once again, coming up momentarily, I'll be starting a live stream exclusively over on Side Scrollers Plus for members, playing the game everybody's been begging me to play. And by everybody, I mean like 3 people. Sex with Hitler. So please join us over there. Once again, today is the last day. You can get the tremendous discount of using promo code April over at Side Scrollers Plus. Get your $30 off. Look at how happy that makes Blabs.
I even raised the volume just so we could hear it better. Hey, bro!
Blabs reads off these wonderful super chats here at the end. I would like for you to open up a tab and use that promo code April.
April!
And at checkout and get the full year for $60. That'd be huge. And
April!
Okay, thank you, Rob Schneider. All right, Blaz, why don't you read off these supers real quick, and then we will say adieu. I'm gonna go take a piss. I'll be right back.
Okay, so some of these just did not clear, so I'm actually gonna go at the bottom and then find out.
Yeah, with Jason.
Yeah, I'm gonna start over here. Kyle says, member for 19 months. So how are they gonna just make another Friday movie without John Witherspoon, the father of Craig, in Friday? Do they just say Craig's dad passed away? Okay, question. Norm says, I feel like Nintendo's similar to companies like Ferrari who are assholes because they know they can be assholes. Fair point.
Yeah, they know their worth.
Cac says, Craig, what would you take for you to play some of the Ultimate Spider-Man game soundtrack for a minute? You guys always talk soundtracks and I love it. So we can't because we'd be hit with copyright flags and all that fun stuff.
But very good soundtracks.
Falling for 20 says, there's a certain verse about Kings of the East, Euphrates dried up. Also, DJ T himself acts next neutrality. The tea leaves are rotten. Clarion call. And also thank you for the other 20 that I will not bring up. Frost, for one, says, conspiracy theorist is just a term created by the CIA in the 60s to discredit the critics. Chibi says, justice for Blabs. I agree, man. I agree. Mercenary says, skull of funny mustache man Russia is female. I don't know what I just read, but thank you. Pablo says, Blabs, don't let this happen. What? What did I do? I don't know. Saint says, April 2nd marks the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers, the movie. And yes, back in the 90s, many of us didn't care about the color. We saw people. I agree.
Such a good movie, by the way.
Robo says, Blabs, what month is it? Well, I'll tell you.
April!
Grease says Alpha Phoenix. It has a nice ring to it.
You're damn right.
Max says normal women love confidence. They end up in relationships usually. What men have to deal with are the SSRI junkies who are attracted to a warped version of a man. Interesting.
Could that ever work, Blab? I'm sorry, just real fast. So, like, would there ever be a scenario where you could ever be with a real cuck?
No.
Just like there's no amount
I have
of...
too many standards.
Yeah, okay, that's what I mean.
I'm picky as it is. Mighty for Two says, Craig, the best line to use on a date is from SF2, the animated movie. Vega tells Chun-Li, my hobby is to slowly peel the skin off the rabbits I catch. Especially cute little bunnies like you. Oh, dear.
I feel terrifying about that.
A little bit. Chibi says, I'm all for artistic freedom, but pushing ideas without solid proof gets annoying. It's a pattern that's been repeating too much. I agree.
Hey, Chibi. Good to see you.
Mercenary says that this Yasuke movie has to be malicious in Tni. Also, my last super for a while, IRS just nailed me for 2,468, so one last year fired Blabs for the road. Well, take care, Mercenary. We'll see ya.
Mercenary, we'll still be here, buddy. Thank you very much for your support.
John says Phoenix trying to summon IRL Lara with all those copies. It's just, he sleeps with them at night. It's fine.
Yes.
Israel says Afro Samurai with Sam L. Jackson is the only black samurai. Maybe a live action version of that anime shouldn't have been done. Montez, cheers. Thank you. Maya
By the way,
says, I want to watch Blab.
I say we are 3 supers away from the final Montez of the day.
Ooh.
Triple Montez. We'll see.
Right. I'm checking plus right now as we speak. Okay, Minor for Two says, I want to watch Blabs reacting to Mankind vs. Undertaker in the Hell in the Cell match.
You can actually watch it on Plus. It is she reacts to the 1998 WWF moments. We actually have that already up. So yes, you can find that.
Cheap says, how much do we have to donate for you to wear the Taito drum outfit while streaming S with Australian painter? Oh dear.
That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen.
Lord Slush. Happy Friday, gang. You also use a fine brush to dust my Lego and collectibles. Tedious but satisfying. Any wrecks on a micro vacuum, Blab? So I don't know. I just have like a part that I use for my normal vacuum. My normal vacuum is a big ass like melee vacuum with like a big like extension thing for vacuuming. You can really vacuum the floors and walk and everything with this big thing behind you. Yeah, it's German. Yeah. Anyway. Melee, by the way, fun fact, means honey in Italian. Anyway, okay, Sledsma says, Blasphemous Blabs not willing to try lasagna soup yet. Minestrone exists. Donna pazza.
I can't believe you were about to say minestrone.
Yeah, because I was trying to read in English, right? So that happens sometimes. Anyway, he says I'm a crazy lady at the end, and that's fine. I agree, so.
You are.
Ian says this should count as 3 Montez.
You know what, Ian? You're right. There you go. Did you get Jason's here at the top?
I'm going to toss this out there, but it may not have been lack of promotion that people didn't want to watch you play that game.
I know, Jason. I know. And Commodore Fan says, I usually like Toei, which, by the way, I learned how to say that just now. But I feel like they are just in it for the money. But I feel the bad PR from this might not be a good thing for them long run if they make the Japanese public mad at them for lying about history, as many of them take it very seriously. Thank you very much, Commodore Fan. Blabs, you get to pick. I will keep my hands off the button. You get to pick which Montez we will finish with today, guys.
Can't find it, oh.
Bitch!
Put your hands back
A true man of his word, me, here in this instance, letting you pick.
You literally bamboozled me 3 times. I don't want to hear shit.
I think you could put an alpha title under your name too, Craig. I think you earned it today.
I don't think so.
Appreciate that. The true alpha.
Bamboozling, Craig.
All right. I am starting in just a few minutes. exclusively for Plus members, I'll be making a live stream for Sex with Hitler. We're going to finish here. Give me like 5 minutes, guys. It'll pop up. I'll send email out notifications over at sidescrollersplus.com. This is your last chance to use the promo code April today, right now. You can join me to find and watch this nonsense. I'm not looking forward to this, but we will see. With that said, you guys have an excellent day. No phone in Friday because I'm going to go straight into Sex with Hitler. I did not think I'd be saying that today.
Yeah, that was really
Whatever
weird.
in your life.
What did I say to you yesterday in DMs, Craig? I was like, do you have a thumbnail for Sex with Hitler? And I'm like, wow, what a statement. Never thought I'd be saying that in a DM. Do you have a thumbnail I can use for Sex with Hitler?
Yes. Arturo says,
would it be terrifying? I'm like, yeah, I've got a whole folder.
Just like a catalog of thumbnails of Sex with Hitler.
All right, open up your new tab. Head over to Side Scrollers Plus. Use promo code.
Oh no! Wait! I was on the videos. I have to keep scrolling.
Hey, bro.
There it is.
Use promo code April.
Hey, bro.
Today is the last day to do it, guys. Thank you so much for your support. Have a great rest of your day. And remember, people are going to try to keep it down. Don't let them. You guys got to go get it. Get outside, touch some grass. I'll see you guys very shortly for the video game event of the year.
Fatality!
Hey, bro.
Can we hold on? Try that one more time. Send that one more time.
Hey, bro.
There you go. Get a little fart at the end.